Hey there, I'm DPadGamer, and as you know, neighbors are terrifying. Hello Neighbor has been in early access for some time, which means glitches have appeared and been fixed. Before the game releases for real in a couple weeks, I like to go back to the alphas and mess with some glitches. Put on your home invasion pants because it's time for glitches in Hello Neighbor. We'll be jumping through the various alphas, starting with, well, the first one. By far, the most horrifying thing in this game is the physics. If you stand on an object and crouch repeatedly, this happens. If you do this on a garbage can, it'll allow the player to get stuck and then jumping will raise you into the air. The view is spectacular, and the sound is to die for, cause you know, feel my ears bleeding already. When performing this glitch with something that's not a garbage can, you'll instead get flung through the air. The height and distance seem to be pretty random. If you give it enough tries, eventually you can fling yourself up and over the invisible barrier, which keeps you near the neighbor's house. Now that we're out here, we can see all kinds of strangely placed houses. Most of them are just floating there. There is also duplicates of the neighbor and player houses, missing all kinds of textures and features. From what I understand, these houses are used in cutscenes. The last thing I did here was, of course, jump off into the Great Abyss. I was falling for a solid 5 minutes before my game finally crashed. Moving on to Alpha 2, things are a bit different. The house has been downsized and the number of glitches have been increased. Much like Alpha 1, object crouching still exists, though you can no longer fly using a garbage can. This version of the game introduced a mechanic where you can look through keyholes. This is great for checking a room before entering, but it is a bit glitchy. If you look in, back out, and look in very quickly, the camera will get messed up. It's hard to visualize, but the camera has been dropped from the player's face to around his knees, and if you crouch, you'll go even lower. Using this glitch, you can look through walls. You can even grab items and mess with stuff. If you hide under the bed while the camera glitch is active, we can see underground. There's actually an extra neighbor, player, car, and more. Much like the duplicate houses we saw before, I believe these are used during cutscenes. Moving into the house itself, the doors are pretty neat. One thing that is consistent across all versions of Hello Neighbor is that if the neighbor catches you, it's lights out. Hiding in a closet is a great way to avoid detection, but it can be glitchy. If you get caught right as you go to hide, you can actually get stuck. Going back outside the house, the neighbor can only chase you so far. Once he reaches a certain point, he'll quickly get bored and turn back. He should head back into the house, but for some reason, he'll occasionally stop and perform some stretches. Gotta keep those kidnapping limbs loose and limber. While stretching, the neighbor won't stop for anything, meaning that you can just take the keys off his belt. This, along with object crouching, makes for a real quick win, though this information is basically useless. Moving on to Alpha 3, things here are pretty much normal, and that means that object crouching has been removed. Trash can flying, however, is back with a vengeance. Find yourself a nice corner, like the corner of the invisible barrier, which works pretty well. You want to look down and jump and place a trash can while you're midair. The trash can can't move forward, left, or right, so it gets placed in the same space they occupy, and using that, results may vary. I was stacking some boxes, as you do, and when I tried to get on the boxes, I just went flying. I don't actually know why this happened, but if it's reproducible in the final game, which it might be, it'd make for a quick roof entry. A bit later, while I was still messing around with the boxes, I heard the panic music, which makes no sense. The neighbor wasn't even close by. I dropped everything and grabbed the binoculars for a closer look. What is he doing? He's just stuck there, throwing jars of glue at me from really far away. It was only when I moved forward that he actually came running. Like in all versions of the game, the neighbor has a line he can't cross, but this one is very feisty. After finally surrendering myself to him, I responded that one of the jars of glue was stuck in the ground, spinning endlessly. I tried picking it up, which added to my inventory, but it was still on the ground. It looks very, very weird. Hey, you want some pizza?
No!
How about some milk?
No!
You want some children? Anyways, I'm sure there's more glitches in Hello Neighbor that I missed, but I hope you enjoyed the video regardless. When the game releases for real in a couple of weeks, I'll be playing through it on my second channel, DPadGameplay, so head over there and subscribe if that sounds interesting. As for this video, we're basically done. I'll see you in the next one.